Namaste. On behalf of Project Self, United Consciousness, I, Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar, welcome all of you in this global celebration of United Consciousness, International Week of Peace. UNESCO in its constitution writes that war begins in the mind of the man. And that's why even the constructs and defenses of peace also needs to be built in the mind of the man. Peace is our birthright. Three kinds of peace. My peace with myself. Peace within me. Second, peace with the people around me. And third, peace on the planet and the world in general. But due to limited identities, it appears that peace on the planet is under great threat. Limited identities of fundamentalism of religion, intolerant thoughts, wealth divide, caste divide, divide on the basis of region, fanatic nationalism, status, color of skin, racism, casteism, divide on the basis of species. Human beings consider themselves owner of all the species. Divide on the basis of gender, sex orientation, habitat even. Human beings consider themselves owner of the whole planet and leads to global warming. When this divide, because of these divides, peace which should naturally flow has to be established by forces of peacekeeping. And that's why 25 years ago in the United Nations General Assembly, we all as a planet adopted a resolution for culture of peace. And today, we are also celebrating 76th year of Declaration of Human Rights for the people on the planet, where dignity, equality, and justice is upholded. But it seems that we didn't improve our progress enough in that. We are seriously off track on Agenda 2030 we set for ourselves. 1 in 8 people globally is still suffering from mental disorder. Suicide is being the second leading cause of death among youth today. But still, global defense budget is twice of the global health budget. International disarmament expenditure is only 0.039% of the annual military expenditure in 2013. So United Nations alone can't do it. And that is why United Consciousness celebrates this United Nations International Day of Peace, which is a sincere attempt to raise the consciousness of the planet. Which could not be achieved by the stroke of pen or by the forces or by the resolutions can be achieved by the resolution of mankind, by rising consciousness of all. It is rising consciousness that before taking any action, I will ask 3 questions from myself. Question number 1, whether this action will lead to uphold and sustain peace within me. Second, whether this action which I am taking will improve or sustain my peace with the people around. And third, whether the action I am taking will uphold or sustain the peace on the planet. Because peace is not only absence of conflict. At individual level, peace is the presence of the feeling of joy, serenity, dignity, hope, freedom in me. With other people, peace stands for joyful interpersonal relationships based on love and equality, where I can see me in you, you in me, and us in all. Peace on the planet is also celebrating oneness and this diversity beyond limited divides. So every action which we take should end with disseminating more peace on the planet. In Sanskrit, peace is called Shanti. So peace within myself, peace with others, and peace in the world also. United Consciousness International Week of Peace celebration is one of the world's biggest celebration of United Nations International Day of Peace. This celebration begins on 14th of September, and this celebration will continue till 22nd of September with a hope that even if this event is over, the celebration of peace and happiness will continue resonating in everybody's life on the planet. In this program, life coaches, spiritual masters, academicians, public representatives, public servants, scientists, artists, bureaucrats, and all statesmen of repute are coming from different parts of the world, from all 6 continents of the world, because we stand together for a peaceful world. Dear friends, let's join hand together in saying, before we do anything and after we do anything, invoking the higher within and saying, Om Shanti, may there be peace within me. Om Shanti, may there be peace around me. Om Shanti, may there be peace on the planet, in the world. On behalf of Project Self, European Yoga Federation, Yoga Australia, Yoga Vidya Spiritual Council in Africa, AYT, and other important sister organizations of United Consciousness, I welcome all of you to join the celebration for the joy of life. Namaste.
Our next speaker is a versatile personality. He is an acknowledged trainer, academician, scholar, writer, and a management consultant. He has done his doctorate in business management and master's in philosophy. He is a national merit holder in electronics-enabled training from Indian Society of Training and Development, New Delhi. He is Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar. Dr. Tomar is a freelance trainer and served the cabinet ministers of state, MLAs, police officers, and tycoons of business world. He has authored the book Rule the World as Krishna Did. He addressed first World Spiritual Parliament Hyderabad, International Conference on Innovative Business Management as a keynote speaker, and his thoughts on impact of Indian philosophy on modern management were also appreciated at Philosophy of Management Conference, Oxford, London, International Conference on Enterprise System and Best Management Practices organized by Global Digital Business Society, USA. He is on a mission of happiness here and now. The aim and objective is universal brotherhood and happiness through harmonizing the knowledge from ancient scriptures into our lives. His message throughout has long been that you can think of happiness or even catch happiness for a while, but you can never buy happiness. Many have found themselves spiritually elevated because of his teachings on Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta, etc. So without further ado, it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar.
Namaste, everybody. It is sheer joy in sharing my thoughts about peace and ancient wisdom. Friends, I heard that there was a kingdom. In that kingdom, there were painting competition was organized. In that painting competition, court of ministers selected two paintings as a final paintings, and king has to pick one out of these two. There was one painting in which the artist has drawn absolutely beautiful landscapes, all greenery, all the place. Lots of flowers were there, wind was blowing. It was so soothing to look at it. And the second finalist painting was, it was in darker tone. It was a darker tone, lightening was happening, and a big thunderstorm was going on under a waterfall, and water was falling from very high waterfall and was hitting the rocks and breaking the rocks even. So it was in dark tone, it was a beautiful, lively tone. Everybody wanted to know what king picked up as a painting which demonstrates peace, because the title of the competition was peace. The king picked up that dark tone painting as the right representation of the peace. When some of the ministers were a little bit surprised, king replied, if you see that dark tone painting where wild wind is blowing, lightning, thunderstorm, a big waterfall breaking the rocks, dark midnight, though it appears very weird, but at the same time, just behind that waterfall on that mountain, the artist has drawn a nest, and in that nest there is a bird and three small kids of that bird, and bird has a very peaceful appearance at her face, and she is feeding her offsprings with absolute peace, and offsprings are in full joy getting fed. King replied, dear friends, peace is not the peace of state of affairs around me. Peace is state of mind. It does not depend on the state of affairs. It is peaceful state of mind within me. In ancient Indian scriptures, we have a story called Jaya and Vijaya. Jaya and Vijay Both are the gatekeepers to the gate of salvation, liberation, Vaikuntha, adobe of Shri Vishnu. When somebody goes to adobe of Shri Vishnu, first Vijay stops him. Vijay means victory over a state of affairs. Vijay asks, have you done good to others? Have you contributed in others' life? Did you lead your life with dharma? And once you prove yes that you contributed into life of others, you supported everybody, you lived life of dharma, then Vijay lets you go in. But then second gatekeeper comes. His name is Jaya. Jaya means victory over state of mind. Jaya asks you, were you peaceful in mind? Did you have lots of ego or not? Could you control over your own animal instinct? Could you remain serene in most difficult situations? If you can prove throughout your life journey that you have done it, then only Jai will permit you to go towards liberation. So, dear friends, in order to reach this liberation, it is must that we should have a peaceful state of mind. How to get it? Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 71 talks about it. It's a formula for peace. Lord Krishna says, Vihai kamanya sarva puman charati nispraha nirmamo nirankaraha sah shantim adhigacchati. So there are four must in order to get peace in life. First must is Vihai kamanya sarva. First must or first prerequisite is Vihaya Kamanya Sarva. Vihaya means leaving. Kamanya means all bounded desires. Sarva means all. Vihaya means leaving. Kamanya means bounding desires. Sarva means all. Getting rid of all bounding desires. To desire is a state of mind. But bounding desire means musts in life. This must happen. World must be nice to me. She must behave rightly with me. This must happen. That must happen. Otherwise, I will not be happy. Otherwise, I am not okay. So, bounding desires, the first prerequisite Krishna says, Vihaya kamanya sarva. Non-longing for anything. But it is not that easy. So, there are four things that one should do for it. First, remember death. People who remember death, they forget ego. People who remember ego, they forget death. Both cannot coexist. In Bible, Jesus says, you walk on the path of liberation, let dead bury their own dead. Kun faya kun Quran says, whatever is born will be vanished. So remember, like Steve Jobs used to say, every day, if today is the last day of my life, will I still be doing the same thing I am doing right now? Asking yourself. Death, when you remember death, subtly, you go beyond limited bounding desires. Desire automatically subsides. Second, drama. Remember the drama of life. There are two sorrows in life. One, George Bernard Shaw used to say, there are two sorrows in life. One, not getting what you wanted to get. And second, getting it. Once upon a time, you loved a girl. You wanted to be with her. And because you couldn't get her, you were in sorrow. And today, the same girl has created headache to you. Again, there is a sorrow. This is what you call divorce also. So the point is, it's a drama of life. The same thing which created joy one day will create suffering another day. Sansara, It is called sansara. Saha sansarati is sansara. Something which continues. It's like a drawing on water. Water paint on water. It can't stay. So second thing is it's a drama. We keep on thinking that tomorrow I'll be happy, that tomorrow never comes. If you are not happy today, here, today, you will never be happy in life. Don't postpone it. It's a drama. That day will never come when everything will be perfect. Third, destination. Remember what is the goal of life. These achievements, materialistic achievements, are but stations of life, but not destination of life. And fourth is development. When we say development, it means develop yourself towards take every action that takes you towards liberation. That is development. So four things you do to get rid of bounded desires. Death, remember drama, remember death, remember drama, remember destination, and start developing. This is the first thing. Vihaya kaman nisarva. Second, puman charati nispraha. So the second thing is nispraha, non-sticking. If you want to be peaceful in life, don't get sticked to what? Four things. Don't get stick to results, because you can't control results. Michael Phelps said, I always used to focus on my efforts. That's why I could break all my records. Mahendra Singh Dhoni said, focus on process. Results you can't control. It is called performance pressure. Don't get stick to results. Give your best and leave the rest second. Don't get stick to circumstances. Why it happened? Why it always happens to me? The right thing is it happened. Now how can I deal with it? It's okay. We are just like Japanese doll with sand at the bottom. When you hit, it comes back again. When you hit, it comes back again. So be mindful about it. That is non-sticking to circumstances. Third, non-sticking to results, circumstances, actions. Even don't put your ego to the actions. If I am doing it, then it should be. Look, the point is, work only as an instrument. Like all civil servants, they work as instruments in the hand of the Constitution of India or their own constitution. Let's work as instruments in the hands of the higher. Don't get stick to the actions also. You just let him speak through you when you are speaking. You just let him dance through you when you are dancing. You just let him play through you when you are playing. You just let him talk through you, play flow through you, live through you when you are living. Don't get stick to actions even, because it boosts our ego. And last is, don't get stick to the emotions. Today I'm feeling sad. Tomorrow I may feel happy. Day after tomorrow I may feel jealous. Another day I'll feel something. Don't get stick to the emotions. Don't act on those emotions. Just observe them. They will come and they will go. If you will speak in those moments of high emotional burst, you won't speak sense. So, nispraha, non-sticking to results, circumstances, actions, and emotions. And third word Krishna says, what is the verse? Vihaya kamanya sarva pumana charati nispraha. Pumana charati nispraha means, puman means one who, charati means walk, nispraha means non-attached, non-sticking. One who walks without sticking. Third line is nirmamo nirankaraha. Nirmama. Nirmama means no minus. No minus. That is what you call nirmam. No minus means nothing belongs to me. We are co-travelers. on this journey of life. You, the people live in the same roof with you, we are co-travelers. Give them freedom. 2, we know that we are supporter for each other, not savior. You can't save anybody. You can just support people in their walks of life, in their difficult situations. Just be with them. They will go through their prarabdha. Be a supporter. You can't save anybody. Only he can save if you know him, if you believe in him. Third is no expectations. Accept things. Don't expect things. The more acceptance will go and expectations will go lower, life will be better. So increase acceptance, decrease expectations. Then your life will follow on the path of nirmama. Mama means mine, nirmama, not mine. Nothing belongs to me. And this is what we do in Yagna in India. Idam namam, it is not mine, it doesn't belong to me. So remember, we are co-travelers. Be a supporter, not savior, and accept. Don't expect. And last is nir ahankara, Krishna said. No I-ness. Not only no minus, even no I-ness. How? First, what happens is when you are unable to forgive anybody, why you are not able to forgive? Somebody has hurt you. Hurt whom then? When you say hurt you, hurt your ego, hurt our ego. We are not okay with it. So first thing is give forgiveness. Forgive people. That will help you to reduce your ego. Forgive everybody. Say, I forgive you. Second, seek forgiveness. Not only give forgiveness, seek forgiveness. If you have done some mistake, ask for forgiveness. That will also reduce your ego. Think of the people around you. Ask for forgiveness if you have done something wrong. Third, send blessings to them. To all. Send blessings to self, to surrounding, to all the beings on the planet. Send blessings to those people who hurt you even. Pause. Feel those blessings and disseminate those blessings. And the fourth thing to do in this is, if you can send blessings even to those people who have just hurt you, it means your ego has gone down. And last is count your blessings. Count your blessings. We are so infinitely blessed and little challenged. Count your blessings. The more you'll count your blessings, the better you'll be able to do in your life. So, peace is not state of affairs. Peaceful state of affairs, it is peaceful state of mind in all the state of affairs. Peace means victory over surrounding, living life of dharma, victory over self also, jaya and vijaya both. How to get it? Bhagavad Gita 2.71, Krishna says, Vihaya kamanya sarva pumana charati nispraha nirmamo nirankaraha sah shantim adhigachyati. First is Vihaya kamanya sarva, leaving all bounded desires. How? Remember death, remember drama, remember destination, and develop. D. Second, Pumana charati nispraha, one who walks in this life without sticking to things, connected to all and attached to nobody, attached not to results, circumstances, actions, and emotions. Don't get stick to it. They will come and they will go. Nirmamo nirankaraha, nirmama, no minus. We are co-travelers. We are supporter, not savior. Accept all, expect nothing. And the last is nirankaraha, no I-ness. Seek forgiveness, give forgiveness, send blessings, and count your blessings. And saha shante madhigachyati. One who does this in life certainly gets peace in life. This is what Lord Krishna says. And this is what is my message from Bhagavad Gita on this International day of peace for all co-travelers, fellow traveler beings on this planet. Thank you very much.
We thank Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar for an excellent session. Honored to invite and welcome Ambassador Kumar Tuhin. Currently, he is serving as the Director General of the Indian Council for Cultural Relations and Secretary in the Ministry of External Affairs. He had an illustrious career spanning over 3 decades in the Indian Foreign Services. Having joined the IFS in 1991, his diplomatic journey reflects deep expertise and dedication, with key posting across various global capitals. Notably, he has served as India's ambassador to Hungary and High Commissioner to Namibia, showcasing his leadership in representing India internationally. A seasoned diplomat, his career began in Indian mission in Hong Kong, followed by significant roles in Beijing, Geneva, Hanoi, and San Francisco. His experience in handling critical bilateral and multilateral engagements, especially with China and East Asia, underlines his strategic acumen. Additionally, he headed the Development Partnership Administration Division, spearheading India's global capacity building initiative and fostering international cooperation. An engineer by training and a scholar of languages including Chinese and French, his intellectual and cultural depth complements his diplomatic powers. His commitment to strengthening India's cultural diplomacy and international collaboration makes him an esteemed leader, known for his visionary approach and diplomatic excellence. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Ambassador Kumar Tuhin.
Dear friends, I am honored to address this important event today as we come together to celebrate a day that holds profound significance, the International Day of Peace. This day, established in 1981 by the United Nations General Assembly, is not just a reminder of our collective desire for the absence of conflict, but a call to action, a call to foster a culture of peace, understanding, and cooperation across borders and communities. This year, in 2024, we are marking a special milestone, the 25th anniversary of the UN General Assembly adoption of the Declaration and Program of Action on a Culture of Peace. It was back in 1999 when the UN laid out the foundation for what peace truly means. They reminded the world that peace is not passive. It is a dynamic and participatory process that thrives on dialogue, mutual respect, and understanding. In a world of rising tensions, as we look at the world today, this message could not be more timely. With increasing geopolitical tensions and protracted conflicts, the need to reinforce these values has never been greater. The adoption of the Culture of Peace framework 2 decades ago was a testament to the commitment of nations to move beyond the silencing of guns and instead focus on nurturing a mindset of peace. The essence of this declaration, which is respect for life, human rights, non-violence, tolerance, and cultural diversity, reminds us that peace is just not an aspiration, it's a responsibility. A responsibility that starts within us and radiates outward to the world around us. The UNESCO Constitution famously states, "Since wars begin in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that the defenses of peace must be constructed." And this profound statement guides us today as we gather to reflect on peace not just as the cessation of violence, but as a constructive and ongoing process that can and should be nurtured through education, dialogue, and compassion. Here, it would also be important that we ponder over India's unique perspective on peace, one that has echoed through our ancient scriptures, philosophies, and cultural practices for millennia. In India, peace again is not merely the absence of conflict, but is viewed as a holistic state of being where inner tranquility translates into harmony with the external world. Our ancient texts speak volumes about peace. In the Rig Veda, we find the profound invocation Sahana avatu, Sahana bhunaktu, Sahaviryam karvavahi, Tejasvi nama dhitamastu, Ma vidvishavahi, which means may we protected together, may we be nourished together, may we work together with great energy, may our intellect be sharpened, may we live in peace and harmony with each other. And this prayer for mutual protection, nourishment, and harmonious coexistence is timeless, and its relevance to the modern world cannot be overstated. It reminds us that peace begins within but must be reflected in our relations with each other through cooperation, collaboration, and mutual respect. Furthermore, we have heard the phrase Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. Non-violence is the highest duty. This teaching of non-violence or Ahimsa has guided Indian leaders for centuries, perhaps most famously Mahatma Gandhi, who used it as the cornerstone of his philosophy in the Indian freedom struggle. His life and work were powerful demonstrations of how non-violence, peace, and dignity can bring about change. Today, as we reflect on these teachings in the context of our modern world, we realize that the spiritual pursuit of peace, of oneness, is more critical than ever. United consciousness, with its mission of one consciousness and one being, serves as a beautiful reminder that peace is inherently spiritual. It transcends the boundaries of nations, cultures, and religions and touches the very core of our shared humanity. The notion of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam has been deeply embedded in the Indian psyche for centuries. It offers a global vision of togetherness, promoting the idea that we must live as one family, supporting each other in times of need, celebrating our diversity, and building bridges of understanding. This is the spirit that the International Day of Peace seeks to foster. As we celebrate this day, it is essential to remember that peace is active. It requires effort, empathy, and dialogue. The United Nations Declaration reminds us that to build a culture of peace, we must commit to non-violence not just in moments of conflict, but in our everyday interactions. We must therefore prioritize education, promote mutual respect, and embrace cultural diversity at every level of society. It is also a time to reflect that while it is important to have ceasefires and laying down of arms, but more than that, it is a time for us to lay down our prejudices, fears, and divisions. It is a time to truly see humanity in one another. This is our collective responsibility if we are to survive and thrive as a global community. In conclusion, as we look toward the future, let us carry forward the lessons from the past. Let us build a world where peace is not just the absence of war, but the presence of justice, compassion, and understanding. Let us work towards a global consciousness that unites us, where dialogue replaces confrontation and cooperation becomes the norm. I would like to leave you with one final thought from the Bhagavad Gita, which says, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate, which means equanimity is yoga. This is a reminder that peace lies in balance, in equanimity, in seeing ourselves as part of a larger whole. May we all work together to cultivate that peace within ourselves, in our communities, and in our world. Thank you very much.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Ambassador Kumar Tuhin for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much. We are delighted to introduce Professor Manish Singhal, a distinguished academic and practitioner in the field of organization behavior, with a robust background encompassing a BE in mechanical engineering and PGDM in finance and PhD in behavioral sciences from IIM Calcutta. He has been a cornerstone of XLRI, Xavier's School of Management, Jamshedpur since April 2006. Extensive expertise and scholarly contributions make him a leading figure in understanding and shaping organizational dynamics. Professor Singhal's academic journey includes a notable publication, Spiritually at Work, a study of Indian non-profit organization, and a significant presentation of his doctoral research at international conferences. His tenure as a visiting faculty member at the Indian Institute of Business, Hyderabad, further underscores his broad influence in academia. His unique career includes 6 years as a non-salaried missionary at Vivekananda Kendra, where he led pioneering anthropological research projects in Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. His projects produce influential publications on tribal religions and indigenous healing traditions. At XLRI, he excels in teaching and guiding PhD students on topics like leadership emergence and moral leadership. He has also successfully led numerous executive education programs enhancing managerial effectiveness and leadership skills across various industries. His role as a joint secretary of the Indian Yoga Association Jharkhand chapter amplifies his commitment to integrating Indian culture heritage with modern leadership practices. His diverse experience and profound insights into human behavior and organizational effectiveness make him an invaluable asset to the academic and professional community. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Manish Singhal.
Most welcome, brother, to your own family, and on this special occasion of International Day of Peace. We'll be very happy to listen Professor Manish Singhal on ancient wisdom on holistic health and well-being, balancing mind, body, and spirit. Over to you. Next 13 minutes are yours. Most welcome.
What a pleasure it is. What a pleasure it is, Dr. Tomar. And when I received this particular invitation to speak on ancient wisdom on holistic health and well-being, my thoughts went back to WHO, the World Health Organization, and which talks about health. And even though we usually talk about it only as physical health, but if we go back to WHO back in 1948, in its constitution, it talks about health is the state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. And I thought that probably over a period of time, we might have lost sight of that particular definition. Because if we go to the typical way in which we think of health, it is largely about what is happening to the body. But given the rise of the psychosomatic disorders in modern society, much of it is our own doing, we are probably forgetting the aspect of the psyche of it, the psychosomatic part. And therefore, diseases which are generated at the level of the mind, but then manifest themselves in our body. And I thought that we probably need to go back in time, given that we have to talk about ancient wisdom. So what does ancient wisdom say? And if we go back to Taittiriya Upanishad from the Indian lore, okay, so the Taittiriya Upanishad, there is this particular disciple who goes back to his father and he asks him as to, "Father, who am I?" And the father, instead of giving very direct answers, because that is not the way in which we kind of approach or arrive at knowledge, asks him as to, "What do you think it is? What do you say?" So the disciple kind of responds to him and he says that usually when is it that I get to know that someone is coming? When I can see that person, right? Or when I can hear that person or something like that. And therefore he says that probably it is the annamaya kosha, the physical body, the physical sheath that the person is. And therefore this is the outermost sheath, which is the physical body, nourished by food. And because it is nourished by food, anna, this particular kosha focuses upon the body's physiological and anatomical aspects. So if you go back to WHO, it is also talking about physical well-being as being the absence of disease and optimal physical function. So this is something that we need to bear in mind. And then from there, when we go further, we are going. So this child comes back and then says that this is who I am. So the guru says that, okay, you are going in the right direction. Could you go further? So the guy goes back. The guy goes back, sits under that banyan tree or whatever. And then after a while, he comes back and he tells his guru, and he thinks to himself. And what he says is that usually when a person dies, the body is still there, but we do not really see that person there, right? And therefore, in Hindi, there's a phrase which says, "Uske prana pakheru ud gaye." So prana, so the bird of prana has escaped the body. And therefore, he comes back and he says that probably it is the prana, the energy body, which is what is who I am. Because when that is not there, then obviously it is the life force has left the human body. So that energy flow, which controls vital functions like breathing, digestion, circulation, etc., all of that is a pranamaya kosha. So if we go back to the WHO definition, it does not directly talk about the energy aspect, but indirectly supports it when it talks about the overall well-being, which is tied to vitality. So this pranamaya kosha is also known as the vital sheath. So the child comes back, tells his guru that this is what it is, and then the guru says that you're going on the right path, could you go further? Once again, the boy goes back, he meditates some more, and then what he finds is that typically my breath is also not even, is also not uniform, and it varies. At times when I'm angry, it is very, very fast, and whenever it is that I'm sad, it is very shallow. And therefore, what is it which is controlling this vital sheath? So the insight that the child arrives at, the student arrives at, so he says that maybe it is my mind, the emotional, the mental sheath, the body that I had. So probably that is the idea which is governing my thoughts, emotions, subconscious, etc. So how is it that the individual is responding to the environment? Right? I hope you are still with me. So we started with the Annamaya Kosh, which is the physical body. Why the physical body is there, but the person has gone. So maybe the vital, the life force has gone. Now, what is controlling this life force, the vital force that we have inside? So maybe it is the Manomaya Kosh, right? So it is this part here. So even the WHO definition lays a great store by mental health, which is about your emotional stability, your cognitive health, and your psychological resilience, etc. So this is something which probably is paramount. Now, the student obviously has come back to the teacher, has come back to the guru and says that maybe that is the mind which is why. Remember cogito ergo sum, which comes to us from Western philosophy, and therefore I think, therefore I am. So now, obviously you will realize that our ancient wisdom goes much further. So he goes to the guru and says that it is the mind who I am. So the guru says, so you are on the right path, but could you go still further? So the guy goes further and then he thinks about it and he says, so what is the characteristic of the mind? So the characteristic of the mind is likes and dislikes, right? If I like something, that probably makes me happy. So I think if I dislike something and it comes to me, it probably makes me unhappy. Okay. So now, given that these are the characteristics, these are the indicators of the kind of workings of the mind. So he says, but haven't my likes and dislikes also changed over a period of time? I might have liked some toys at one point of time, and today probably I like different toys. Okay, so I like a different set of toy or whatever. So how do these likes and dislikes change? And this is where the disciple comes across the next insight. What he says is, so my likes and dislikes would also depend upon my intellect, my wisdom, my discriminating faculty. So which is what is governing my decision making, deeper insight and understanding. So lo and behold, the disciple has come to the fourth kosha, which is that of Vijnanamaya kosha. So remember, if we are looking at the definition of WHO, which I started my talk with, there also we are talking about the social well-being. So how does that kind of make a difference? Am I making a healthy decision? Do I have the intellectual clarity, which will lead to better social interactions? Fair enough? Okay, so that is the fourth aspect of it. So now, so maybe it is my understanding, it is my wisdom, it is my intellect. That is what the disciple tells his guru. So the guru says that, okay, you are on the right path, but maybe you still have some milestones to cover, etc. So this guy now goes back. This guy goes back and then he reflects upon that some more once again. Okay, so he says that what is the objective of all of this intellect that I'm bringing to the table? All of this wisdom that I'm using, what am I using it for? And he comes to the next level of insight where he says that maybe this intellect, all of it, whether it was my childhood, whether it is my youth, whether it is my old age, whenever it is, so what is all of this prompting me towards? So all of this probably is pointing me towards Ananda. Think about it. Why do I want a particular toy now? Because I feel that maybe if I possess this toy, or if I come away from this unpleasant situation, feeling, or whatever, I will probably be happier. Fair enough? Okay. And not just happier, because this happiness and unhappiness is outside in. Instead of that, is there something that I can think of on my own? So this is the idea of bliss. So the Anandamaya Kosha, which is probably the deeper aspect of who we are, so it is the state of pure bliss, joy, spiritual fulfillment. So that which will probably fulfill us beyond the material and mental realms. So it is the experience. It is the experience of that particular self. Okay, so the WHO definition, if you look at the health part, it doesn't really explicitly mention spiritual or blissful, but it can be considered as a part of the individual's overall state of well-being. So we started with the Annamaya Kosha, the physical body. We moved from there to the vital sheath, which is the Pranamaya Kosha. We moved from there to the mental, okay, the Manomaya Kosha, the mental, the cognitive, the emotional, etc. And then from there we came to the Vigyanmaya Kosha, which is that of intellect or wisdom or deeper clarity, etc. And from there we have come to the fifth one here, which is that of the Anandamaya Kosha, the sheath of bliss. Now the argument here is that probably we need to ask WHO to probably expand this particular definition of health that they gave us way back in 1948 to include the spiritual aspect as well, because there is only so much that we can get by looking at the physical, which is why if you look at the recent COVID pandemic that we had, over there also the people became much more conscious about the state of mental well-being. While my context may probably be good and I may probably be pretty satisfied with that, but unless and until this mental equilibrium I am able to maintain within myself, will I be able to kind of do justice to the ask that is there from me. Okay, so from the physical well-being to the mental to the social, now that particular social aspect also is probably undergirded by the spiritual, by the Atma. And when we come to this, who am I? So the tale goes that when this particular disciple now no longer comes back to the Guru for the validation. What is the idea? So we are looking at, so even if I am experiencing that particular bliss, that particular body, the sheath that I have, who is doing the experiencing? Make sense? Make sense? Okay, so who is doing the experiencing? And therefore, who you are is probably the one who is experiencing all this. Look at it in your own life, right? Look at it in your own life. Can you imagine yourself wherever it is that you're sitting or standing? Could you just close your eyes for a while? Okay, close your eyes for a while. And could you imagine yourself sitting on the same seat or standing in the same place 6 months ago? I'm sure all of us are able to visualize that. Even if you're in a new place, maybe you could take yourself back to wherever you were 6 months ago. Okay, fair enough. Now let us go back 5 years in time. Where did you see yourself? Where did you find yourself? 10 years ago? A different place, a different location maybe, a different period of time. Or probably your last job. Second last now. So go back in time another 20 years, another 30 years, depending upon how old you are. Okay. So now try to go back to the earliest memory that you have from this life. Maybe you may be thinking about your family, you may be thinking about your school, or maybe a particular landmark memory that you have. Now, do you see that the person who was sitting in this chair 6 months ago, the person who was in a different place 6 months ago, the place that you were in 10 years ago, does the sense of I change? I may be sporting mustache today, There was a time when I didn't have a mustache, right? I may be wearing a pair of spectacles today. Chances are that 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years ago, I was not wearing that spectacle. My hair may be turning white. Maybe they were black at one point of time. I may have lost a limb or the other, or maybe I've had a prosthetic attached to my body. I may be finding some things pleasant today. They may have been unpleasant earlier, or vice versa. There may be a particular ideology that I believe in today. I might have been vehemently opposed to that 20 years ago. The objects that give me happiness today were probably not the ones which gave me happiness earlier, or the other way around. Do I see a sense of connection between all of these experiences? And therefore, this particular sutra, this particular thread, this particular connection is probably who I actually am. So once we are able to connect to that, you will probably realize that the changing circumstances around you, the changing features of the body, the changing perturbations of the mind, whether be they positive or negative, the confusion or the clarity that you feel is probably not who you are. And therefore, what we need to be looking at when we talk about health is come back to the phrase that we have in India for it, which is that of swasthya. Swasthya, not health. Okay, swasthya. So what is swasthya? Swaha sthita. Are you established in yourself? Are you established in yourself? Please think about it. So when anyone who has suffered from a toothache will probably remember that you can't really think of anything else at that point of time because all your attention is captured by that particular pain that you have. Fair enough? And therefore, when you are physically healthy, it means that the physical body is not demanding your attention. Whereas for all of us who are thinking all the time, all our attention is going to the thought level, which is the thought or emotions, etc. Chances are we are not really healthy at the mental level. Okay, and you can expand that. My time is coming to a close, but I'm sure you'll be able to extend this. And therefore, swasthya is when you are established in your being, the doing or the having is not really consuming your attention. And therefore, when is it that you are healthy? When you are established in yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Manishi. It is so enlightening. And you very rightly quoted the three Upanishad. You took us throughout our journey, decades after decades. You made us see that what we see aging, what we see changing, what we see, all the dynamics of life is not me. And the moment I'm situated, I'm established beyond this dynamism, sahasansarati, then I am absolutely swastha. And you rightly started with the definition of WHO, and you recommended WHO to extend this definition to spiritual dimensions also. It is very profound. I think it has benefited me and everybody who is listening to us. Thank you very much, Manishi. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Mr. Manish Singhal for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much. I feel delighted to invite Ms. Aishwarya Devi, who is an experienced dancer, choreographer, the founder of Yoga Dance System, and one of the first yoga teacher in Greece. In 1987, she founded the Ballet School in Athens. In 2005, she founded new school in Athens by the name of Raj Yoga Anahata Center of Art, where she continues teaching different kinds of yoga. She has been greatly inspired and spiritually enlightened by the teachings of Paramhansa Satyananda, Master Kao Koksui, Pandit Shri Ram Sharma Acharya, Mataji and others. While being the creator of the yoga dance system, she has been invited to many international festivals. In 2012, she presented her system at the International Yoga Festival in Portugal. In 2013, she presented Yoga, Culture and Spirituality in International Festival from Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya University in Haridwar, India. She has made various presentations and speeches on Greek, television, radio, magazine. Speaking on all the yoga matters, she has worked wholeheartedly for the betterment of our society and the elevation of the human spirit. Nowadays, she is making efforts to transmit the global message of compassion, love, and communication to the whole world, to people who seek to understand their own lives and their inner self, regardless of gender or religion.
Namaste, Aishwarya Devi ji. Many happy returns of the day. What a day to be born on the planet.
Many and heartfelt thank you, Dr. Vikrant. Thank you very much.
What a wonderful day to be incarnated on the planet.
Divine. It was a divine plan. We never thought about it. Yes.
And certainly we are celebrating, everybody is celebrating International Day of Peace, and your birthday also, it seems. So now the stage is all yours. We all are looking forward from you to learn about practical yoga asanas that you'll take us for that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Today I have some of my students because that was not possible for everybody to come on Saturday, and we are planning to show a medium difficult asanas, just in a chord of a small timetable that we have. And I'm gonna just giving the, πώς το λέμε το τέτοιο, direction. Yeah, the direction, and we're gonna show it, and will be very happy if someone will have the pleasure to join us in this session. It's a small session, but I think it's a nice one. And of course, in our session we are going to miss our pranayama that we are using to have a lot of pranayamas, and we have also missing a lot of mantra, chanting mantras. We are going to have small piece of mantra, and at the end we have the yoga nidra, and we are not going to have it today. So we are very thankful that we have been invited in the United Consciousness, and we are celebrating my birthday with you today. Thank you very much. Hari Om. We are starting with the chanting of Om, the pranav chanting of Om. Om. Shante, Shante, Shante. Hari Om Bhurvubhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimane Dhiyo Yona Prachodayate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Shantu Niramayah. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kashidukha Bhagavate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat. We're making a small of 15 seconds of Kapalabhati. We are standing up for standing poses, starting by Tadasana. And we are moving to the Urdhva Hasta Asana. We are using always in our class, we are not physically, normally breathing. So we always going from one asana to the other by using inhalation. We are making in the between without breathing our asana, and then we are exhale to start again. So now we are going to Vriksha Asana. And we have from this part both sides, right and left side. Now we have Uttatana Asana. Side bend Asana. And now, because we don't have so much time, we are going to show you the Trikonasana. So we have Utthita Trikonasana. The other side. Utthita Pashva Kona Asana. One side. Up. And now we start with the Virabhadra Asana. We have three. First, number one, number two, and number three. That is most difficult. The other side. And now the third, number third of Virabhadra Asana. Two, sorry. Two. I'm anxious about the time, that's why. Okay, number two. Yes. the other side. And the third one. For the bending in the fix them. And it's not so easy for us when we are going, to follow the time and not the time us. Because asana and generally yoga needs a lot of concentration and a lot of concentrated breathing and a lot being with yourself, and nothing matters around. So excuse us for any mistake today. So we are going to finish our session. I'm not in the position, because I am with my students, to give holy water around, as usually we have in yagas with the Shanti mantra, but from our heart we are giving this holy water everywhere, to the peace all around earth, to the peace in the places that they have problems, war, fighting, killing, in the places that there is poverty, in the places all over the world that they have so many problems, in the family, in the children, for jobs, for life generally. So yoga has been made from divine people, from divine persons, from divine yogis, to give the alter ego in this life, to change this life, to give away the darkness and give light to our face, heart, and mind, and make and promote and make the goodness. So if you know Shanti Path, if you know, this mantra, you can chanting with us. Thank you very much. Hari Om. Om Dios Shandirandar. Sorry. So they will be sure that they will chant it, the Shanti mantra. Om Dios Shantiram Grikshagam Shante Prithvi Shantira Paharo Sadayaha Shante Vanashpatayaः Shanteः Vishvadevaः Shanteः Brahma Shanteः Sarvagam Shanteः Shantireva Shanteः Shama Shantireli Om Shanti Shanti Shanteः Sarvaristashu Shantir Bhavatu.
Thank you very much, Aishwarya Deviji. It is excellent that we could learn from you these asanas, and along with this, the best part is you had whole team with you performing so that everybody felt all the more good. Can we get introduced to the people who participated with you? Please tell them namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste from India and different parts of the world. Namaste.
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 We have more, Dr. Vikrant, but today they couldn't come.
No worries. Again, very, very happy returns of the day, Aishwarya Deviji. May you keep enlightening people across the planet the way you have been doing it. Thank you very much for honoring us with your presence today.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Vikrant.
Thank you.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Ms. Aishwarya Devi from Greece for coming onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much. Welcome to United Consciousness, where one consciousness, one being, is more than just a belief. It's a movement, a global initiative that unites us all in the pursuit of peace, spiritual wisdom, and universal happiness. It's a global mission that's touching life across continents. If you have ever felt the need for connection, spiritual guidance, or just a sense of belonging, you are in the right place. Welcome to United Consciousness. United Consciousness is not just an organization. It's a living, breathing community dedicated to enhance the holistic well-being of over 3 lakh individuals worldwide. Our mission is simple yet profound. One consciousness, one being. We believe that by connecting with our higher selves and each other, we can live lives filled with purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. Together, we are building a global community that shares this vision, helping each other unlock our full potential. Our logo says it all. The lotus symbolizes enlightenment, peace, and infinite universal consciousness. The petals represent all beings in the universe, interconnected and overlapping, signifying our togetherness. And that white essence in the center, it's the one source from which all beings originated. Every detail carries meaning right down to the 14 petals, which reminds us to transcend our limited identities. And speaking of transcendenting identities, our vision aligns perfectly with the global movement of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. With the presence in over 100 countries, our reach is global. We are not just spreading a message, we are creating a cohesive network of individuals and organizations working together to eliminate limited identities and promote peace and happiness across the planet. But what does joining United Consciousness means to you? It means gaining access to tools and resources that will help you build mental resilience, overcome stress, depression, and anxiety, and elevate your spiritual journey. And that's just the beginning. Our lives Question and answer sessions with the world-renowned speakers provide you with the opportunity to get all your life questions answered, whether you are seeking spiritual upliftment, emotional intelligence, or simply a community that stands and supports you. United Consciousness is here to help you thrive in this complex world. So why wait? Join us on this transformative journey. Let's create a world where peace and happiness are not just a distant ideals, but a tangible reality we can all experience here and now. United consciousness, one being, together we can make the difference. Tackling global mental health challenges is essential for fostering peace. By addressing the psychological needs of individuals across the world, we lay the groundwork of societies rooted in the understanding, empathy, and cooperation. Prioritizing mental health on a global scale paves the way for a more peaceful and harmonious world. So the topic of panel discussion today is addressing global mental health challenges to foster peace. Our next guest is Mr. Ahmed Sagna. He is physical education and sports teacher, international yoga instructor, and prana therapist. His words of wisdom are, each of us has an inner flame that will only be fanned by inner peace. Our next guest, Ms. Amrita Magdala, whose love for nature and for Gaia, the earth and humanity represents, has moved Amrita into the exploration of consciousness. A journey that ongoingly opened towards unrealized possibilities, normally unimaginable to our current state of realization. Creating unity is finding love as the thread that unites all traditions, all relations, all beings on the earth. As the expression of her soul, she helps now the arising awareness through the arts in the form of music and art. Founder of the Voice of Gaia, a movement raising consciousness through music and art, inspiring love for Mother Earth and humanity. It's my pleasure to welcome and introduce Mr. Joseph Desideratus Dushimimana. He is a passionate social entrepreneur, yoga instructor, meditation instructor, karate instructor, and Tai Chi Qigong instructor. He holds a degree in sociology from the former National University of Rwanda. He's graduated from the 3-year Africa Yoga Project Academy program in Nairobi, Kenya, and is certified by the Battisti Institute of Power Yoga. He is a certified level 2nd breath, body, mind instructor. He has participated in a mindfulness meditation research workshops at Uganda Buddhist Center in Entebbe, 10 days Vipassana meditation, and has completed 3 months training in metta medicine, and also holds a black belt, 2nd Dan in Wado Ryu style karate, and a 2nd Dan in Goju Ryu karate style. He is a progressive student of Qigong in Immortal Arts Academy. These practices have been therapeutic tools for him and also an opportunity to be of service for the community. His teaching style is a blend of meditative postures, movements, and breath work. Those who practice under his instructions report to experience sound sleep, relief from chronic headache, a balance of strength and flexibility, emotional balance, and mental clarity. From 2013, Joseph teaches at different places including fitness centers, hotels, schools, and Heart and Claim the Mind. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Joseph Desideratus Dushimimana. I'm excited to introduce and welcome a very talented yoga ambassador and successful entrepreneur, Ms. Enelda Noka, who has introduced the first certified Batiste Power Yoga practice and studio in the Balkans, specifically Albania, with 20 years of yoga experience. She is a self-driven yogi who is passionate about changing lives in the community. She lives in by volunteering her services and building her brand by sharing her passion for health, wellness, and the benefits of yoga. She owns Power Vinayasa Yoga Studio that offers a variety of different forms of yoga, including yin, restorative, prenatal, chair, sport yoga, personal training for injury recovery, and meditation. She's certified level 1 and 2 certification for Baron Batty's Power Yoga, Lakshmi Volkar Chair Yoga Therapy Training, Yoga Alliance 200 Hours Yoga Training Teacher Certified, Art of Assisting with Batty's Institute Certification, Cryotherapy and Red Light Infusion Programs, and many more. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Anilda Noka. Today's panel discussion will be moderated by Dr. Vikrant Singh Tobar, convener United Consciousness. Dr. Tobar is an acknowledged trainer, academician, scholar, writer, and a management consultant. He's a freelance trainer and served the cabinet ministers of state, MLAs, police officers, and tycoons of the business world. His aim and objective is universal brotherhood and happiness through harmonizing the knowledge from the ancient scriptures into our lives. So I welcome all our guests for panel discussion.
Most welcome, most welcome. We acknowledge your presence, Anilda ji from Albania. Most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Our friend Amrita ji from Sweden. Most welcome. And our friend Ahmed ji from Senegal. Most welcome.
Welcome, bonjour.
And audience watching us from different parts of the world, we are going to discuss on a very pertinent topic: mental health, global mental health challenges to foster peace. How to address global mental health challenges to foster peace. And I'm glad that we have people from different parts of the world, and that way it will help us to have more inclusive discussion. So let's start with Amrita ji. Amrita ji, you have lived your life in nature and in yoga practices also. What is your quick remarks over the condition of mental health in the world? Before I pass it on to you, I request all the guests to be as brief as possible so that we'll have more rounds of discussion. So whenever an elaboration is needed, we will request you to elaborate it further. But till then, we can be brief so that we'll have more discussions, more rounds of discussions. So my question to Amrita ji is, Amrita ji, what is your quick remark on the condition of mental health today in the world?
Thank you, Dr. Vikrant, for addressing this very important issue in the world at the moment. It's not easy to go into this subject fast, but I will try my best to bring something, just an essence of it, because as in the global transition that we are in, right, this is going to become more and more a theme and something to approach. The easy answer to this is that it's going to be an ongoing answer, and we're going to have to come together with the different wisdom from all parts in the world. We're going to have to come back to nature and to ourselves, meaning nature, the world, yes, but nature within ourselves. Until we don't understand our own nature, we won't understand our own challenges. And if we don't understand the world, how it works, we will also create a challenge that won't help mental health. I would love to also bring a beautiful, from my own traditions or from this part of the world, right? A beautiful metaphor. It sits with, maybe Mr. Ahmed already named this, but it sits in metaphorically in the triple flame wisdom within our hearts. And this is bringing the clarity of mind or understanding consciousness, the clarity of emotions or maturity of emotions. So we're going to need that too to approach our emotional self. And to know how to apply this, it's the third one, which is where our power becomes. If we don't know how to apply this in the world, nothing, no understanding, no studying of it will work.
Thank you.
Hoping this is simple enough.
Yes. Thank you. Amritaji mentioned about triple flame wisdom and importance of understanding ourselves. We'll go to Aniljaji from
Yes.
Albania. You have been practicing yoga. What is the condition of mental health you see around you? Is it changing? If it is changing, is it for good or for bad? What is the situation right now you see?
Well, it's such a pleasure to be here. And like Amriti said, it's not an easy thing to explain in short words. It's a complicated situation that gets worse and worse every day, unfortunately. Especially mostly for the young generations, because they are expected to be a certain kind, to behave a certain way. And it's mostly not guided anymore, but what they feel in their heart or their family traditions. But it's mostly from the social medias, especially mostly in the developed countries, that every young kid has a cell phone or a tablet, and they all have social media. So, yes, we always need to go back to ourselves and to turn that mirror towards ourselves. But from personal experience of every one of us in this panel and around the world, turning the mirror towards us is the hardest process. So we all find ourselves in our societies and in our studios or in our everyday life with people that all have an answer for our problems, and sugarcoating it doesn't make it any better. We as yoga teachers sometimes are told that, oh, well, you live in your own bubble. Well, guess what? We don't. We live in the real world, and we touch the problems and the struggles of each and every person. And we want to be their guidance or their helper or their shining light. But sometimes even our own life get complicated. So we hit our bumps, we hit our, stops. So the sugar coating, I've noticed it doesn't work. I'm a little bit more like a very specific person. I don't like to sugar coated, and it's like taking the medicine. It's bitter, but you have to take it to get better. That doesn't mean that you don't go down to the level of the people you have in front of you. But I mean, it's a global problem, and we always talk about going back to our real selves. But that journey to our real selves, I think, it's a long journey, and we all need to cultivate it each and every day, each and every moment that we face our own, let's say, quote unquote, demons, our own fears, our own insecurities. And we're bombarded from so much information that our human mind is not designed to carry with us all day. Necessary information and unnecessary information. And we cannot be always prepared, because then our own brain is going to just kind of explode. So I don't know if that kind of explains a little bit.
Makes sense. So our friend Anil ji mentioned about we need to turn mirror towards ourselves. We don't live in bubbles. We live in real reality. There are lots of demons inside and lots of information bombarding from outside, and seems we are not prepared enough. Ahmed ji from Senegal, you are working with youth, you are exchanging, interacting with people. What do you think is the reason that the mental health on the planet is a serious concern? What is happening to the mental health? What is the problem?
Good morning. I'm happy to be here. And I will try just to speak English because here we speak French, and sometimes I cannot get really your question, but I will try what I understand.
That's perfect.
And okay, I know we have an interesting subject, and for me, mental health in the world is became bigger and bigger. Many people have this kind of problems, and for me, why this problems
Mhm.
becomes, it's about you have many factors. If, for example, lack of sleepy can give it, and also you will have physical inactivity. For example, if you don't do sport, you don't do yoga, everything, and also you have a kind of get exposure to psychoactive substance like such alcohol, cannabis, or drugs. It can make this kind of mental health. I mean,
Getting it?
yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah,
Mm.
it's what I think honestly.
Okay, you mentioned about lack of physical activity, psychoactive substance use also is contributing. Anything else that you are finding at your place in Senegal which is increasing this mental problems other than these two?
Yeah, because it's kind of factor, but here, for example, you can have, stress, anxious, and also if, for example, if you live, for example, if I take my town, Dakar, have many people, this town who have many people who have many activity, it will make you stress and it will give this kind of problems
Okay,
also.
thank you. Thank you very much. Uh, we understood the reasons of increasing stress and reducing mental well-being is narrated by Ahmed ji also. Amrita ji, after understanding what are the reasons why mental health is deteriorating on the planet, you mentioned about this triple flame wisdom. Would you like to help us understand what do you mean by that? And how does it help to deal with it?
Yeah, this is beautiful because the more I study more cultures, I feel one thing is important now is we are going to have to understand each other, walk each other home, walk us home. And the beauty of each tradition, like what is coming from the yogi tradition, they have a technology that it works. It's been working for many to understand these complexities inside us. What is in my mind? Am I in a state of confusion? Then we come to the wisdom in our schools here in the West. And then we can come to the ones in the Sufis, or the Kabbalists, or we can come to the Native American traditions. What I've understood is that in the end, it all comes to the same thing. And you will recognize this, Dr. Vikram, right? Because what is the triple flame, right? It's that wisdom. Wisdom can only come from clarity of mind. We need to dispel the confusion. What is making us confused, right? First, the first thing maybe is to approach the easy way. When someone is really confused or too young to understand, to mature this mind, the easy way might be to get it into the physical body, the exercises, the physicality of it. That's easy. We can all breathe and move. This physical body will get strong to receive the other bigger bodies, right? Then the understanding will start clearing. So this is very complex, as you know. First is to work with that consciousness in all the bodies to strengthen this so that clarity of mind can be produced. That's the wisdom, what we understand by knowledge. And the other one is love. It's understanding our emotional selves. Where is this feeling coming from? Am I these feelings? Why are in this confusion? Am I these confused thoughts? Am I these confused emotions? Is there something else to me? Is this this association we don't understand? So we identify ourselves with the wrong things. So it's more about bringing clarity. It's a slow process. We need to know then how to apply it, how to apply all this knowledge coming from all these traditions. That's also the action, the will that comes from the root. That's our power. This is the choice. I want to become better. I want to become healthy. Something's wrong with me. First, we need to understand I'm not in the great state of mind or great state of emotions. This first is taken, then we start applying it. Now these three come together continuously. It's a continuous weaving. These three blends are not separate. One becomes the other, and the other one becomes the other one, and the other.
Physical. First is physical, second is emotional, third is?
Third is action.
Action. Perfect.
Bringing it to matter, knowing how to apply it. That's the will.
Thank you. So, Amritaji mentioned about physical well-being, emotional well-being, mental well-being, and bringing this well-being into action.
Yeah.
Anildaji, you mentioned
very, very easy, Dr. Brican. Just clarity of mind, sweetness of heart into action.
Perfect. Thank you. So, you mentioned about social media, Anildaji. You mentioned about family relationships are also causing stress in that. So, yes, families are breaking. Their social media is bombarding with lots of information in such difficult times. As I was reading a research, now it has become 6 times more information exposure than before. And research was an old research. Now it must be 10 times more information exposure.
Exactly.
What do you suggest? How should we be proceeding in safeguarding ourselves and going on the right direction?
Well, there is lots of studies that come out each and every day, and the one thing that at least I've noticed from our experience with our students, with our friends, with people that surround us, is that we treat our mental health as a separate issue from the rest of our life, from our body, from the inflammation inside the body, from the food we consume, from the information that we put inside this body. This body doesn't get fed only with food, but with information and everything else. Food, what kind of food? So if we really see the modern society today, we are all consuming foods that are not healthy. We are told one day one thing and the other day another thing. And then, let's face it, you go to the mental health offices or doctors, and the first thing they do, they don't ask you a full picture of what's going on. How are you feeding yourself? What are you doing? How long are you sleeping? How long are you doing certain activities? And the first thing they do, they prescribe you a medication that will make you feel better. Well, that's where most of the trouble starts. We're just noticing that doctors are reading each and every day easier into their prescription books and just writing these things. And I know it's like we talk about clarity of mind. How can you be clear of mind when your mind doesn't even know what's going on? When you are not told the real truth about what is going on with you. I am 51 years old, but when I was growing up, it was one meal cooked each and every day, fresh at the house. I lived in Albania. We didn't have Coca-Cola, or we didn't have all these packaged foods, and we were eating whatever that season was given us. So when we were talking about mental health, and I think most of the time we focus only on the problem. Oh my God, people are going crazy. Well, there is lots of factors, and I love to dig down and understand. I'm not a specialist. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not giving people advice. But the first thing I tell them, how many hours are you sleeping? How many hours are you going out and breathing fresh air? How many times are you taking a break in your 10, 12-hour office job to even walk around the table or take a walk in the corridor? So, I mean, talking about mental is like, it's a very touchy situations, but also people that in somehow rather have understood how deep this problem goes. I believe we all need to find the courage and be outspoken about the real problem. We're not being, yes, we talk about being in touch with nature. Well, when you have 10 bills that need to be paid at the end of the month, how do you explain to a parent, to somebody that is young, that, oh, well, leave everything and take a walk? They will probably look at you and say, are you freaking kidding? Are you crazy? Who's going to pay my bills? I mean, I have been that person, so I totally get it. So when we are trying to um, globalize the way we live, the way we think, the most important thing, as Amrita said, is to respect each other's individual traditions, respect their what they hold holy and sacred in their lives, because the tradition of yoga, it's so amazing. But to be honest, when I started in Albania and talk in Sanskrit, people look at me like, okay, she went crazy. Not that they have anything against that, but it's like, okay, what is she saying now? Is she going crazy? So it's like the teaching of yoga, it's so amazing. And the teaching of our grandparents and great grandparents, it's so amazing if we just found the time to sit down for a moment and just listen to them.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Lots of things that you covered in the in what you mentioned is about what kind of the mental health cannot be seen in isolation. What kind of food, when is prepared, how it is prepared, your sleep, what kind of air you are breathing, and many things that you mentioned will contribute in developing mental health. In Ahmed J, when you mentioned about various reasons which are deteriorating mental health, you as a practitioner, you as a guide for mental health and coach, what techniques, what methods are you teaching people through which we can regain this mental health?
For me, it's just what I think. To do more meditation. I mean, to to have more harmony and inner, and practice also yoga. And sometimes I can provide my student to eat healthy. And for me, the most important things is to to put my not to put, but maybe to advise my student to be themselves. I mean, to be kind. I mean, to have this kind of harmony with themselves. And because for me, if you have this kind of harmony and you have this kind of peace, you can do many things. For me, it if you have for example, if you eat healthy and you have this kind of inner peace, you will do everything. And for me, it's the most important for. And I think with practicing yoga, you can have this kind of things. Because
Perfect, perfect.
yeah.
Thank you. So, Amritaji, when Ahmed mentioned this, that we should meditate, and Anildaji mentioned, I have bills to be paid. So, the moment I sit and meditate, those bills pop up. when all those pending stuff pops up, even if I'm going to walk in nature, those things are popping up. How to deal with that?
We need to understand that we need to be ready to create sanity. Either we are there and we understand, wow, there's no choice anymore. This is creating more problem than it's helping. And we are willing to let go of what is unnecessary. And that means life is going to put great pressure on us. We need to understand we're going through a birth in humanity. And a birth many times is not easy. A birth requires you leave everything behind and trust in the process. And yes, it comes with a moment that you're thinking you're dying and you're thinking you're going insane. You think, no, it's not going to happen. Now, maturity of self, sanity is going to come only when you feel, okay, something is not working. I'm driving myself crazy. So if it feels, I don't know, I've gone through this. You need to understand, okay, do I keep pushing to pay the bills or do I reduce my needs? In this, we're going to need community because, yes, if you're a mother and you have children, you need the support of the community. And if you know you're going insane, we need to ask for help. I don't know the circumstances specifically for everyone because they are tailored to each one. And it requires a leap of faith in which you are stepping up for a greater clarity and you understand I need help and I cannot sustain the life of the living I'm doing, either if it's paying bills or other things. Many times we are driving ourselves crazy and we put our time in things that are not healthy for ourselves. Watching movies, going out and drinking alcohol, consuming substances, talking with the neighbors and talking negatively. How am I producing that negative state of mind? It's a long process. It's not easy to talk about this in 5 minutes. What I'm saying is everything I've said, I agree with everyone here, but it's deep. We cannot touch it in 5 minutes. It's deep. We all here know that if we've gone through it, it requires a lot of trust, faith, and knowing first something's wrong, I need help. I cannot
Trust in what? Trust in what?
To generate trust in ourselves and trust in life, we need to understand we need help first because we are not understanding. We are unable to generate trust in ourselves or trust in life on our own. That's when we come to the people who have come through it. Yes?
Anilda ji,
And then we need to be ready to let go.
Anilda ji, Amrita ji
Yeah.
mentioned that when we need help, we should ask for help. But people hesitate in asking for help. They shy, they don't open up. How to deal with it?
Well, most of people, just because of fear of being judged, normally they hide, and they hide in gossip, they hide in flashy clothes, getting more things that they really need just to show off that everything for them is good. To people that have found their peace, that have gone through their journey themselves, to the struggle, to finding themselves, to getting to a better place, this is like an open window. We can see through them. Most of us, when a student walks in a yoga studio or it comes in a meditation room, we can see ourselves in their eyes. So to my personal experience and what we work with every day is just being there for the people that knock at our door, for the people that call us on the phone or maybe write an email, and just be there and showing them that they're, whatever is going on with them, it's not going to get fixed with a pill or a walk in the park. It's going to be a walk in the park, but maybe also holding someone else's hand that it's guiding them through that. So I believe that the most important thing, and we see it into our yoga studios, into our communities, into our friends, we need to show up for each other. sure, society pushes us to get more things, to want more things, and it's not easy. You are tangled into this web of spending, and if you don't spend, you don't belong. So let's be honest about it. The modern times are, if you don't have the latest iPhone, you're not cool, even through professionals and people of a certain, group of intellectuals. So that journey back home to find ourselves, it's not easy for everyone. And most people don't find that strength. And this is one of the biggest problems because they go out for the easy solution, like I said before, and that easy solution becomes a bigger problem. And this is why we see suicide rates higher in a place, or early age deaths. And we see, wow, that person was so young, he was so healthy, but then when we learn about their real struggles, we were like, no, he was not so healthy, he was not so young mentally. We, in the calendar, we might be young, but what's going on into our mind, into our heart, into everything. So this is why the body and the mind, it's our temple. We say it, be careful what you eat and all that stuff, but we don't clean that temple because sometimes we don't know how. Sometimes it's a hard work, and most people get scared about hard work. I don't care how much you have made in your life, how many degrees you have in your life. Sometimes the journey back home, it's difficult. So opening the communities, sometimes the people that have gone through the journey, we might be more open to help. But the person that is needing the help, it's not ready to open up because she's afraid or he's afraid to be judged. So we need to be more vocal. We need to be more not afraid to talk about the real issues, not just sugarcoating. This is my personal opinion. We should be like, bam, this is what's going on, and we're here for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So the last question from Ahmed Ji. So Ahmed Ji, you mentioned about a couple of tips that you use for bringing people up to the mental health. Would you like to add some tips? There are some people who are using psychoactive substances. How do you help them? How do you help them to get better mental health quickly?
In my teaching here, sometimes you will have this kind of student who have this kind of addict about this substance. It's not easy sometimes, but you can help them to, I mean, to have to know that what they use is not good for them. I mean, them their body. And for me, the most important if, for example, people, I mean, they they know themselves, they have this harmony. Because for me, it's the the big problem. People didn't have harmony themselves. They are kind of they believe for everything because you have social media, everything. But if, for example, you teach them about, I mean, to have this peace, how to eat, and tell them about, I mean, this substance, you can, I mean, can help them. You can have some practice with somewhere, sometime, because I also do pranic healing. I just use this kind of practice sometime to help them to be not addict about this substance. But for me,
Okay.
the most thing people can do, it's about to do yoga, because for me, yoga, it's kind of who will help people in this time.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Amrita ji, Anilda ji, and Ahmed ji. So, Amrita ji mentioned that the mental health is all about understanding your own nature and understanding and using this triple flame of wisdom. Triple flame of wisdom is first is physical well-being, second is mental emotional well-being, and third is application of it. Clarity of mind and purity at heart. Applying it is most important to bring the sunny days. And she said there is no choice. If your behavior, if whatever you're doing is not helping, we need to stop it right now. We need to act in a way which is helping us, not which is not helping us. If things are going tough, trust the process. Nature wants to teach us something. If bills are unpaid, try to pay them, but reduce your consumption, minimalistic living. She also said that unhealthy practices has to be stopped. Unhealthy means something which is not taking you towards your mental health. As for example, unnecessary gossip, creating wrong and negative thoughts in mind. And if you need help, reach out and let go of the past worries. Anilda ji mentioned that social media, family, relationships, lots of pressures are there in this generation, and there are many demons around. You can't live in a bubble saying, no, everything is okay. Let's face the brutes. And information bombardment, and we are not prepared. So the solution is turning mirror towards us. How? By first, do not separate mental health and physical health. The food you are eating, what you are eating, when it was cooked, how it is it synthetic or what kind of food you are taking, how much sleep, what is the quality of sleep, quality of air, quantity of air you are breathing. All these things makes you mentally well also. Take nature walks. Ancient teachings are great help. And she said that there are many people who fear of being judged. That's why they do not share what they feel like. And that's why they spend in flowery clothes, and they spend in purchasing things they don't need. They're speaking something they don't want. And they feel if we won't spend, we won't belong. If we won't belong, then they feel sad. And she said these easy solutions creates a bigger problem. She said there is a difference between mental age and physical age. And that's why be there for them always. This is the solution. And she said, show love. Don't only love, let it be expressed. She said, this body is a temple, and we need to keep our temple clean. Ahmed ji beautifully said that physical inactivity, psychoactive substances, lots of relationship issues are creating stress to the people. Meditation, creating harmony in relationships, yoga, eating healthy, acts of kindness, he said, will make you feel better. Increase awareness about substance abuse. And the best thing is harmonize with self. If you are happy with self, you will never go out for such things. I'm sure, friends, that on the mental health, the discussion must have benefited you. People who are watching us from different parts of the world, I want to invite all three of you that on 14th, 15th, and 16th of February next year, 2025, in India, in Ujjain, we are celebrating Global Peace Festival. People from all continents of the world are coming. You are most welcome to join this program. I repeat, on 14th, 15th, and 16th February 2025, United Consciousness Global Peace Celebration will be there in Ujjain, in India. India is also observing Kumbh Mela at the same time. Visit India, visit Kumbh Mela, and be a part of that global festival in Ujjain. You can reach out to us for further details. Thank you very much. Most welcome. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks.
It's my pleasure to introduce and welcome a multi-talented personality, Ms. Lizette Moreno from Israel. She is a freelance yoga therapist and biofeedback therapist. She's offering personalized therapies as a holistic approach combining biofeedback, bioresonance technology together with yoga therapy. On the path to better life quality in performance, full-time teacher at Future Kids in Istanbul, school drama player with 5 years experience in performing art schools with speech bubbles in order to support charities focused on supporting children in education. She has also done her Bachelor's of Arts in English Language. Her therapy Session includes a scanning of the body stress, blockages, imbalances in terms of physical, emotional, and mental energies, determining a personalized map and programming focus on your specific needs, balancing the body with yoga, breath, meditation, asanas, and unblocking the energies with biofeedback sessions, helping your body to heal itself naturally. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Miss Lizette Moreno.
Namaste, Lizette ji. Most
Namaste.
welcome again.
Namaste.
Namaste to Israel.
Thank you very much. I am blessed. I feel blessed being part of United Consciousness with the mission of one consciousness, one being. And so far, all our sisters and brothers, they shared so valuable from the heart informations and wisdom. I feel blessed for that.
Thank you very much. Next 15 minutes are all yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Today, in the International Day of Peace, I have chosen a mantra chanting meditation for heart coherence as a practice for world peace. Why a heart coherence chanting meditation? Because we are all interwoven with as a threads of like a threads of a fabric. We are all interwoven with threads of bliss, love, and light. And whenever we change our frequency, we change our frequency, the frequency of the entire world. All the scientific studies now are talking that chanting has effects on our consciousness by stimulating the vagus nerve, which is the main nerve that sends information and signals to our brain from our body about the level of stress. So when the vagus nerve is stimulated with chanting, with breathing, our parasympathetic system is expanding, is triggered and is expanding. This means that we are becoming more in deep relaxation state and calm state, and this causes and increases our coherence of the body and the mind. And when we are coherent, we are more open and centered to our source, to our essence inside. Now we will chant. I will invite you to chant together an ancient and mystical mantra of peace. This mantra is for transformation and for heart coherence. And we will finish the meditation with some few minutes of silence. So I invite you with me to do this mantra chanting meditation. You can close your eyes or put your hands to your heart and feel the rhythm of the mantra chanting to experience how this mantra will, how this rhythm, how this chanting will change your frequency. Please be aware how it brings to your heart and mind into coherence, into harmony. It will start to harmonize your heart and mind. When we are going to start harmonizing and going to a deeper coherence, we are accessing our source, our center inside. So will be more open and soft and in peace, experience peace. So I invite you, you may close your eyes or put your hands on your heart and continue chanting with me. Om. Satoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya Satoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya Satoma Sadgamaya. Lead me from ignorance to truth. Lead me from darkness to light. Lead me from fear to love. From ignorance to truth. From darkness to light. From fear to love. I am truth. I am light. I am love. I am truth. I am love. I am light. Truth. Light. Love. I am peace. 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 Truth. Light. Love. Peace. Truth. Light. Love. Peace. 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 Our eyes still closed. Now let's take a deep breath in silence and feel the vibrations of the chanting to go to your heart. Feel your heartbeat. Be within, in your heart. Be deeper, going deeper in every breath, going deeper in every breath, more open and soft, feeling the space of the heart deeper and deeper, especially now where there is so much unrest on the planet. Let's go deeper. Let's collectively, right now, in our space of the heart, vision, peace everywhere in the world. Let's vision together and send compassion from the deepest of our heart to everywhere in the planet. Now, as your vibration is changing, is shifting, you are shifting the vibration of the whole planet right now on a deep spiritual level, deep into the heart right now. Deep breath into the heart and coherence. And now, let's align our hearts together. Let's feel all our hearts together right now as one heart that beats together, as one heart that beats together, and our breaths getting deeper and deeper. Let's align together as one breath, that we are all breathing the same breath. We are all breathing the same breath. Shanti. 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 Om Namah Shivaya. From our heart coherence to compassion to all the planet. Namaste.
Thank you very much, Lizard G. The heart coherence meditation is which actually our planet needs today. We all are the children of the divine, and parents feel very happy when kids live with each other with love and affection peacefully. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Ms. Lizette Moreno to come onto the platform of United Consciousness. Thank you so much.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्।
This shloka means, may everyone be happy, may everyone be free from all diseases, may everyone see goodness and auspiciousness in everything, may none be unhappy or distressed. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. I am highly privileged to have this opportunity to present my gratitude to all those who have witnessed and blessed this event directly or indirectly. I believe that this is not the end, but the beginning of our journeys. The journeys towards the noble cause of removing the 14 divides rooted in human race and promoting harmonious and peaceful coexistence. Firstly, I thank the God for blessing us all. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Rajesh Rabindranath of Project Self USA, Yogi Baba Adnan and Madam Kubuk of Siddha Ashram Yoga Center, Mr. Andre Reel of Nidra Yoga, Swami Suryananda Saraswati of European Yoga Federation, Mr. Sukhdev Volker Brits of Yoga Vidya, Mr. Valdemar Parado of Yoga Yogeshmo, Ms. Patricia Begley of AAYT, Ms. Emmy Blessio of CUIDY, Ms. Valentina Cortene of African Spiritual Council, Mr. Andre Lebanau of Yoga Lam, Mr. Josh Pryor of Yoga Australia, and Mr. Jose Druge of the for your invaluable contribution and support. I am also very thankful to Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar of United Consciousness for hosting such a beautiful program. I also thank Team United Consciousness for their valuable contributions to such a beautiful program.